Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be installing these PRAD underbody armor plates on the Force Gurkha. Let's go. Let's start with the rewind and take a close look at this stock BS6 Gurkha straight out of the showroom. If you remember, it had a weird protection plate in between both the control arms, which you can see on the screen now. It sat silly low, too close to the ground, and scraped everything in its path the moment you drove out of your garage. Nobody really knows why this plate was designed this way, with so much gap above it and in a weird L shape. So for the lack of a better word, let's just call it the tax plate. If you haven't seen my video on how I modified this plate, please click the card above and watch it later. I had removed the tax plate, modified its shape a bit, flattened it to a plane, and mounted it back on the same brackets, liberating a decent and befitting 235 mm of ground clearance at this point. This is the customary picture before and after the modification. You can clearly see the difference. I had let the plate be until now because it was okay, and as far as the sheet metal goes, it was quietly taking hits and holding up. But during off-roading, I did find it getting beat up and dented if it went up against a burly rock or deep ruts. So I have been looking out for proper underbody armor for my truck. Something that is well made, well engineered, and can stand up to off-road abuse. But unlike the Thar, if you're a Gurkha owner, you would empathize with me for the sheer lack of very many options for anything aftermarket, even a foot mat. So forget templated jigs for custom bash plates. So I took the bash plate off and drove my truck up a ramp to actually see what all needs protection down under. Welcome to the underworld. So right up front we have the front bash plate. This one bears the brunt of the approach angle hits in cases like we just saw right now. It protects important bits in the front end of the truck, including the radiator fan and all. But as you can see, it has seen better days, and I would really like something more stronger and robust here. This one's taken quite a beating on my truck. We move in further to the location from where I removed the tax plate. So these were the mounting points, and this is where the plate used to be. And since I've taken it off, the front diff remains exposed. So we need to protect that by putting some armor below it. We can see the front drive shaft coming out of the transfer case into the front diff. That one goes to the exhaust. Have a strong cross member here, pretty solid. Here's the transfer case where all the magic happens. If you're interested to know how this four-wheel drive system works, I'll link up my simple explanation video here. This strong cross member gives protection to the transfer case as well. The gearbox also sits pretty high up, so that's also sorted. I must admit, in this Force Gurkha, everything is pretty solidly built, overkill heavy. It's a good thing in this case. U bracket is provided so that if the bracket breaks and the shaft falls, this U bracket will catch it. I have bent it slightly upwards because it was hanging too low. And we reach the rear diff pumpkin. It looks like it has taken some hit. I've been too adventurous or too careless somewhere. Figure out some way to protect it. And we reach the fuel tank, and for the fuel tank there's a nice armor plating which is provided. Summing up our walk through the underworld, looks like we could use some protection, especially in the forward end. Luckily the guys at PRAD4x4 heard us, so I purchased this Gurkha underbody armor set from PRAD. Compared to the original OEM bash plate, this set looks well made and of definitely superior quality. I was even given paint color choices, but I boringly chose black. Even the thickness of the sheet metal is far superior and looks like it's well engineered. Let's proceed with the installation. The armor set comes with the two plate pieces and all the nuts and bolts and the two brackets you will need. The mounting is bolt on direct to the existing mounts, so you don't need anything else. You just need to lift the truck, remove the front bash plate, remove the bottom tax plate, and just bolt on the PRAD system. Generally, aftermarket bash plates are a little bit tricky when it comes to aligning with the OEM mount points, but PRAD is extremely well engineered and very accurate. Without any problem, the bolts just slid in. I was worried if the armor plate would drop too low and we would end up in square one with low ground clearance again. That's not the case. They have done a very good job and the plate nicely fits snug under the body. We can see the diffs are nicely protected and the front bash plate is perfectly mated to the existing bumper. Overall, I'm happy with the modification and can't wait to test it out. A big shout out to Keith at Unimec Racing Goa for the installation. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do like, share and subscribe. It encourages me to bring you more content. Stay tuned because one more major modification is coming up next week. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So until next time, bye bye and take care.